This is coming from Fitz News, a local news outlet in South Carolina. We love an independent news outlet. Murdaugh saga. Clifton Newman stands down. Judge Newman has requested that a new judge be assigned to handle the post-trial motions involving the murder charges. That's just the courthouse Becky stuff. This is part of what the defense asked the Supreme Court for, not all of it. Judge Newman still has a hearing tomorrow. I imagine tomorrow they're going to ask him to recuse himself from all of the cases, not just this. But Judge Newman might be a witness in the witness tampering stuff, and it is his clerk of court. I'm not mad at this decision. Let's keep reading. Let's keep going. South Carolina Circuit Court Judge Clifton Newman has voluntarily recused himself from hearing further motions tied to the double homicide charges against convicted killer Alex Murdaugh. Murdaugh was convicted in March of murdering his wife and son at Moselle in Colton County. Newman was set to rule on whether or not Murdaugh should receive a new trial, but now that responsibility will fall to another judge appointed by the Chief Justice, Donald Beatty. Newman's decision to stand down was revealed in an order issued on Thursday, November 16th by the South Carolina Supreme Court. I looked at the South Carolina Supreme Court docket yesterday when I was prepping cases. I had not seen this published yet, which earlier this month had been asked by Murdaugh's attorneys to assign a new judge. And that was the request that Newman was unable to sit in judgment over the motions for two reasons. He was a potential witness to the jury tampering against the clerk of court, and he made extrajudicial comments in the aftermath of the guilty verdict. Based on Newman's decision, the Supreme Court denied the motion, arguing that the request is now moot. Judge Newman has requested that a new trial be assigned to handle the post-trial motions involving the murder charges. So that's it. Here's the order. We love it when the order is here. Supreme Court of South Carolina, Murdaugh versus Newman. On November 1st, petitioner Richard Alexander Murdaugh filed in this court's original jurisdiction a petition for a writ of prohibition seeking an order prohibiting the Honorable Clifton Newman from adjudicating petitioner's motion for new trial that is currently pending in the Court of General Sessions in Colton County from presiding over future trials of indictments against the petitioner. Petitioner also filed a motion to stay all trial court proceedings pending this court's ruling on his petition for a writ of prohibition. On November 6th, 2023, the state filed a return in opposition to the motion to stay, indicating petitioner faces 101 financial and narcotics charges, 13 of which are presently scheduled for trial beginning November 27th in Beaufort County. The motion to stay is denied, and the trial scheduled to begin on November 27th shall go forward as planned. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The writ of prohibition is denied as to future trials of indictments against petitioner. I like to read the court motions because this makes it very clear, the article did not. This makes it very clear that the court is not just saying this is moot. The court has also denied the motion with regard to future trials. The article made it seem as if they're just like, oh, it's moot, he recused himself. There were two parts of this petition. Both parts are important. So now we've got the full story. They're denying the motion to stop Newman from hearing cases going forward. And the rest of the motion is denied as moot because Newman recused himself from just the post-trial, new trial motion on the murders. The writ of prohibition is denied as to future trials of the indictments against petitioner. As to petitioner's pending motion for new trial, the writ of prohibition is denied as moot. Judge Newman has requested that a new judge be assigned to handle the post-trial motions involving the murder charges. I think that's appropriate. I don't know if it's a journalist flub. I think that journalists see the story headline first. I've never worked as a journalist. And don't necessarily pick up on the same things a lawyer finds important. I find both parts of the petition important because I cover all of the legal documents. So I want the legal documents, and I appreciate that they attach the legal documents to it so we can go. I find, again, it's easier to just go directly to the document, see what is said. And I'm really appreciative that Fitz News attached it. Just in summary, the Supreme Court has denied the motion that Judge Newman cannot sit on future cases. Remember, Poot and company argued that he had already made comments to his college and comments to the media and comments on television that he felt Murdaugh was guilty and that Poot et al. Argued showed that he could not be a fair and impartial judge going forward on future cases. The Supreme Court disagrees and denied it. As to the motion for new trial, the Supreme Court said that is moot. He's already said it should be assigned to another judge. And I think that's appropriate. Let's see. Courtney said, Courtney, I appreciate this insight. I studied journalism and wrote for a newspaper for a time. The issue is trying to get the scoop. So sometimes we run to publish with the headline and go back and make corrections and updates. Fair enough. And also, that's the big 3 line, is that he recused himself. But he didn't recuse himself for everything, and there's still a hearing tomorrow. Question, is the motion for new trial considered part of the affected motions? The motion for new trial only deals with the courthouse Becky stuff. Joe Jersey, question, isn't Judge Newman retiring? At some point, he's reaching the age where he's forced to retire. I don't know if they can allow him to sit in on these cases he's still handling. For deep dives into the stories that I covered here, you can find them on my YouTube channel at The Emily D. Baker and The Emily Show podcast. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. The podcast goes live on Wednesdays. And if you want to stay in the loop with everything I'm doing, receive the fastest notifications out there, and get more Law Nerd community, join me at lawnerdapp.com, our free app for iOS and Android.